Hey everybody, look, I'm hands-free filming in the car. Aren't you guys so excited? I finally have a car mount, partially because of door dashing and partially because every time I was vlogging while driving, even though I tried to do it in ways where I was just setting my camera down and not looking at it too much, or my phone down, it still made me nervous. I didn't like it. I don't know that this is actually any better. Like it is very hands-free. But I'm gonna try and do it safely and only do it when there's not a lot of distractions around. But welcome to the video. You're watching the Christiana321. I am the Christiana, and come door dashing with me. I know that this is a thing that people do in videos. However, I've never done it. I'm in week 2 of door dashing. This is Sunday, game day here in Green Bay. Yesterday, I did some door dashing in the morning, and it was terrible. So, there's a lot of, in the morning, driving DoorDash. Yesterday was my first time doing like a morning shift, I guess, and so it's a lot of people buying, you know, one coffee or, you know, not a lot of food basically, which means that the tips are lower because the amount that they're spending on their food is lower. There were a lot that were like $4. So $2 of base pay and $2 or less of tips. There's one that was just 0 tips. Whenever I get the notification of an order coming in, it tells me the amount that I'm guaranteed, and then it tells me whether they think I'll be getting tips on top of that, or if that is including tips. And so sometimes I'll still take a low dollar order, especially if it's slow and I'm just kind of bored, and hope that, you know, a tip gets added later. No, this was a no tip Taco Bell order. It was a disappointing realization for me. Anyway, so this morning we're gonna try again and hope that with it being game day, I'll be able to do better. I was out for about 2 hours yesterday and made around $30, which is not great. In order to meet my weekly goal of $250, I think I need $67 today. And John said, so $67 is our goal for this morning so that I don't have to go out again this evening, but we'll see. And this is a very long clip of me driving to Starbucks. I've not started my dashing yet because I need Dasher fuel. All right, we've got our first order. I'm gonna try and pop it up on the screen. It is for Cafe Con Crema for around $8. It is a bit of a drive. I normally don't like accepting such long drives. I try and keep it within like a 4 or 5 mile radius. But that's the distance that it has on the screen includes picking it up and dropping it off. And it also shows you kind of a little map of where you'll be going. Then in the app, it has an in-app map where you can follow. It's basically Google Maps. Like I said in my previous video about door dashing, it's not as accurate as Google Maps. So there are lots of times where I just end up. There've been a few times, I guess, I won't say a lot. There've been a few times where I've just had to, I've just had to Google the location just to make sure that I'm at the right spot. Happened the other day with a Little Caesars that for some reason DoorDash thought was a few miles from where it is. Alright, I gotta go because I gotta follow these instructions. I'll see you at the place. Okay, so you're a little crooked. Just since I picked it up, got some French toast and some bacon. It does tell you what the person ordered. Sometimes some of the restaurants just, it says one item, and so I don't know what the difference is, why some of them do that, but it is interesting. The main thing that I need to know is if there's any drinks in there, because some of the restaurants will package the drinks for you, and so they'll be in the bag, and so you always want to be careful, but you want to, like, you know, make sure that you keep the orientation correct with those ones. And I usually add a little bit of extra structure to make sure it doesn't fall over. I will say, in my last video on this, some people did ask some questions, so I want to address those as we're driving around today. One of them is, do people ever complain about their food being cold? Or I guess hot if it was supposed to be cold. And the answer is, I haven't received any of those complaints. I do know that in general, that is a complaint about when you get stuff off of DoorDash, but it's also just kind of an understanding that you're gonna get some cold food if you order on DoorDash. It's not a guarantee. I try and do the best that I can. We did order some pizza bags, so hopefully that particular concern of pizzas being cold will go away. But yeah, no, I try and do pretty well. There was one recently where the person gave me an extra tip because I completed it so quickly. It was very sweet of them. Alright, and we've got to the point in this drive where I've stopped having the directions memorized, so I'm gonna switch back to DoorDash app. Alright, so I dropped off the French toast and bacon to a very nice young man. It was a drop-off hand directly to the person, one, and then also it was a child, so even if, yeah, I'm not gonna film that. I'm not gonna film customer interactions at all. That seems weird. And then, while I was like sitting there, we were kind of off in a neighborhood type place, so I figured I had some time. You don't normally get orders in a neighborhood unless you are right close to some other stuff. So I was gonna look up things to talk about, questions that were asked on my previous video, and before I could do that, another order came in. $9 for a McDonald's delivery, about 2.5 miles. You are trying to go the wrong way, my friend. Alright. And I'm already at the McDonald's, so I'm gonna pick it up and I will see ya in a minute. I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Oh shoot! I didn't take a screenshot of this one, but it's another McDonald's order, 2.8 miles for $5.50, which is low. I will say, it's a little bit lower than we were hoping for, but hey, what are you gonna do? So, I don't know what I was saying. Picking up McDonald's again, one of the questions you guys had for me was, how do I get paid? That wasn't the exact question, but basically there are 3 ways that you get your money from DoorDash. Option number 1, which I think is their preferred option, is you can get a card, a DoorDash card, a debit card kind of thing, and they'll put the money on there. I don't know if it is immediate or what, but I did not go for that option, so I don't know all the details on that one. But I think that you get paid immediately that way. And I'm assuming that you can use it for anything. I do know that if you use that card at certain gas stations, you get extra money back. Like I think it's an extra 2% back on your purchases at gas stations. And then you might also get a discount at gas stations. I forget. Which would be good. And seeing as a DoorDash driver, you drive a lot, and a not insignificant portion of your income comes from, or it goes towards gas. Like, it kind of makes sense as a good card. I don't know though. It seemed a little sketchy. I might sign up for it eventually if this becomes a more permanent thing. Right now I'm just kind of doing what I want. Can I get to McDonald's from here? Yeah, it looks like I can. Second way, which is the way that I did, you can do direct deposit to your bank account, and that comes in weekly. Your total is calculated for the week at Sunday night at midnight, and then you get paid about 48 hours later. And then the third way, again with a bank account, you can do like pay me now kind of things, where they'll just send you whenever you want. I don't know, it probably has a couple hours of transfer time, but you can get your money immediately. But every time you do that, there's a $2 fee, or $1.99 I think. But that's more like, if you need the money now, then I guess that kind of is worth it. But that's up to you. I just go for the weekly payments to my bank account. And yeah, like I said, we'll see if I stick with this. I don't know if I will. It's a lot of fun, so maybe I'll sign up for the card and I'll let you know. Alright, dropped off that order, then immediately got 2 orders that I just declined. One was less than $5 for a similar delivery, and I thought the $5.50 was too low, whereas McDonald's order going about 2.6 miles I think it was. Not worth it. And then the next one was a $2 order to go 7.7 miles. Are you kidding me? That's not even like worth the gas in my car, unless like there's some kind of tip at the end, but that's not guaranteed. Yeah. Alright. So now we are on a slightly better order. I forget already where it is, so I'm going to go back to my DoorDash app. It's actually somewhere that John and I have been talking about trying. It looks really good. I mean, maybe not from the outside, but the pictures and stuff look really good. So that was a really cool apartment building, but the instructions were a little bit confusing. So we got it to him. It was a hand to person. Seemed nice. But yes, anytime there's more than like a couple lines of instructions in the handoff description, it stresses me out a little bit. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's a lot, and most of the time I'm already parked, so it's yeah, not great. We are on to our next one. It's another one that was maybe a little bit light, but compared to the $2 offer to go 7.7 miles, whatever, not bad. So I think we're getting some coffee from a place down on Broadway. I'm gonna go back to the app because I don't... Oh, there it is. Stupid parallel parking. Place had good vibes. I want to go there sometime. Got the order, matcha latte and an egg wrap. First drink of the day. I did look at the delivery instructions this time ahead of time. There was a lot, but I think it'll be helpful when I get there. Alright, so the next question was, how do taxes work? I I was gonna make a joke about how, like, nobody knows. And I am very much not a tax professional. If you have questions about your individual taxes, if you're a DoorDash driver, like, this is just what I've gleaned from the internet, but definitely double check. So the way that it works is you are a independent contractor working for DoorDash. So they don't do any of the taxes. They don't take it out before sending you your paycheck. So you need to basically be a sole proprietor kind of thing. Independent contractor. I know some people, when they do this, especially if they're doing it as their full-time job, if they're doing this as their full-time job, then they will become a sole proprietorship, and then all of their different like contracting stuff will go under the company. It's very complicated, so look into it, see if it's right for you if you want to do that. But basically, yeah, you have to do all of the taxes at the end of the year. I know that there is an option once you've been doing it for a little while. I need to consult a tax advisor on how this is going to work. I know that I'm good for this year, but for next year, at a certain point, you can do these quarterly tax payments that work kind of like your normal thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going over kind of a bumpy road. They work kind of like your normal taxes, where it gets taken out throughout the year, and then at the end, you and the government work out what the difference was, whether the government owes you money or you owe a little bit more than you were estimating. In general, especially at my tax, well, see, this part that I don't know. So I've got the way that the US tax system works, and a lot of the states work, is the more income you make, you go into different tax brackets. So the first, I don't know the numbers, 10,000 you make is taxed at X amount. From any money you make between 10,000 and 50,000 is taxed at the next amount, so on and so forth. So I don't know if this income counts the same, because it is a self-employment kind of income. I really don't know. So, great question. I need to look into it some more. Because I keep switching between landscape to film and vertical for maps and dashing. It is going to be at weird angles sometimes. Sorry about that. This is a cool little apartment place, though. I don't know if I'm supposed to exit this way. So we are about an hour and a half in, and we have gotten to, I think, $35, give or take. Which means that we need to do 50 hours in the last half hour. I don't think it's gonna happen, which is sad. But, you know, it is what it is. Supposedly Sunday evenings are really good, so I might go home, edit today's video, and continue DoorDashing in the evening. But in the evening, I need to work in my house. There's just a lot going on. So the next question that you guys had was about write-offs. So this kind of goes with the last one about taxes. Yes, since you are your own business, you can write stuff off. Again, not a tax expert. Oh, this is not where I want to turn. Oh well, whatever. I'm just trying to get to a place with a lot of restaurants, so I don't have a current dash that I'm doing. Yeah, so things that you buy specifically for your business, your self-employment business, you can write off, and that would be things like gas, probably insurance, probably like this car mount, I would think would be a business expense. Buying the pizza delivery bags or other food delivery equipment. Let's see, what else would you maybe want to get? Well, okay. So if you are going to be writing off car stuff, it is a little bit different. So instead of writing off the amount of gas that you've spent, ooh, a new delivery. All right, that one was just a really quick one. Subway, about like a mile. I think from the subway to the person's house, it was less than a mile. Which is always interesting to me, but on a weekend, especially like you're getting ready to watch the game, I can definitely see why, like, you don't want to leave the house, you know? But, so, the customer's name was, like, a very feminine name, and then the person who came to the door was a very masculine-looking person, which I try not to judge, but I do, like, especially at an apartment complex, you can have multiple people delivering DoorDashes to the same place, so I do try and, like, get them to confirm the name, at least. And this person, they asked, what was the name on the order? And they told me a name that was not the one that was on my order. Oh, sorry, this is for somebody else. Ooh, Arby's. So we're doing an Arby's for $4.50. I try not to accept anything for less than $5, but you do get graded on, I'll put a list up on the screen of the different things that you're ranked on. And one of them is your acceptance rate. If your acceptance rate gets too low, then you stop getting the priority orders. There are a few things that you can do to get priority orders. But the number one thing is you have to keep your acceptance rate high, your completion rate high, your customer ranking, and I think also, like, not too many late orders. You need to be on time or early with as many as possible. And because I've already declined several, this one, it's a short distance. It was shorter, except I was going the wrong way when I accepted it, so I had to make a big loop, and so that added a little bit of distance. That at this distance now, I might not have actually accepted it. Anyway. So gonna go get some Arby's. What was I talking about before? Oh, I got him to confirm the name. He said the wrong name, so I was gonna just, like, continue on because it said leave at the door, so I was gonna go and put it at this person's door. And then he realized, oh wait, no, it was my girlfriend. He gave the correct name and we were good to go. It was a weird instructions where, like, the instructions were leave at the door, but then also in the description of what they were gonna do, it implied that they were gonna meet me at the door. Whatever. Somebody was there. I didn't have to wait around. So that was a delivery to inside of a like vape store, which I've never actually been inside one of those before. Maybe once, a long time ago, I was getting like a prank present for a friend. But it was not like that. Anyway, as soon as I got back in the car, I got a $6 delivery for Taco Bell. It's a little bit of a distance for the drive. It's just under 4 miles for $6, but that'll bring me to, oh no! I could see the Taco Bell. I thought that I could get to it from this angle, but I needed to be on the frontage road. But it's not a big deal because it's just at this light instead of going at the last light. Anyway, talk to your tax advisor for tax questions. But yeah, the Taco Bell was literally like less than a quarter mile. Like it was close enough that the Dasher app was showing me distance in feet. So decided to take it. We'll see. But I think this will be my last order for this shift, which means that I'm gonna have to do a little bit more later, but honestly, $17 in the evening could be one delivery, or it could be multiple. We'll see. I love when the order is just ready and right there for you. A lot of these places have just
a house, which was so dumb. I never did that again.
Stop yelling.
We had a backyard, so that's where the beer.
A lot of the places, especially fast food type places, or places that get a lot of delivery requests, just have a place where if the order's ready, you go and you grab it and you pick it up. There's not always somebody verifying that you're getting the right one, which I've heard of people like DoorDashers getting yelled at whenever they come back because they are being suspected of, like, last time you were here and you grabbed food, you grabbed the wrong one, and blah 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 blah. And I'm sure sometimes that's true, because it would not be difficult to be a terrible person with some of this. Anyway, ask a tax advisor as far as what can be written off and what can't. Generally, for driving, you're writing off the miles, and so you wouldn't be writing off the gas that you pay, and because the mileage write-off is meant to include things like wear and tear on your car, oil changes, like that sort of thing. All of that combined together. I don't know what my next turn is. Hang on. But yeah, definitely check with your tax people and just keep a really good record of everything. I've not been keeping a good record of the miles that I've been driving. And so, yeah, I feel like I'm not going to be able to get away with writing these off, but you want to have, you know, save receipts for things like car mounts, pizza delivery bags, and then a mileage record. There's only so much you can do to, I mean, like, it's another one of those things where it would be easy to be a bad person, but if you are, like, it would still have to make sense, you know? If you're trying to write off every mile that you drive in a car, and you are, this is also your personal vehicle, then that would probably get flagged. I don't know. I am not a tax advisor. I don't know how any of that works. The other one that got brought up is writing off a portion of your cell phone bill. And that's one that I think would likely have legs that you would be able to do. However, I have a fully unlimited plan. I didn't change it, upgrade it, whatever, for this situation. So I don't plan on writing any of it off, because, like, I'm not spending any more money than I would have without DoorDash. However, having like a booster of some sort would be helpful. Or if you don't normally have unlimited data and you want to do this, I would recommend having unlimited data. So if that is your situation, look into it. I'm just gonna keep saying I'm not a tax advisor. These are all just how I think it works, and then I'm gonna talk to a professional and they're gonna tell me you're stupid, probably. I'm sure they're nice because I'm in the Midwest. Everybody's nice up here. So that last Taco Bell order brought me up to exactly $50, which is great. That's my typical daily, like, if I'm gonna go out and be door dashing, I want to get to at least $50 each time. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder, but I extended my dash because I really want to get to that $2.50 mark, because yesterday I did not hit the 50 in my allotted dash time. It does mean that today's video is going up late. Not this video, it'll be the Chicago golf trip that I did, which I have not even looked at that footage. I have exported it so it's on my computer, but I need to edit it export the edited version, and then, you know, I don't know where I'm going. I want to go somewhere where we're going to get some DoorDash orders. I don't know how much footage I have from that, honestly. I'm hoping it's not a lot, so it's easy to go through. But I'm also hoping that it is a lot, so that you guys have something to watch. And it's not just, here are 3 random clips of a golf course. I know it's more than that. I think that there's a lot of rambling clips, though, that may or may not make it into the final cut. You would be surprised, based on how much rambling I do in my videos, for the edited ones. Even with all of that in there, there were a lot of tangents that just did not make it. Anyway, so I do think it's really interesting when people get DoorDash orders to their places of work. Sometimes it's an office building, sometimes I had one yesterday that was to St. Vincent de Paul. The thrift store sounds wrong, but I guess it's a thrift store. And then the smoke shop one today, although that one, I walked in and I didn't see any employees. There were a couple of people, but you know, smoke shop, vape shop, whatever, I feel like would have a more casual atmosphere where, you know, maybe they don't have uniforms, especially that one looked very casual. But luckily, like, I just kind of stood in the front for a second, and when somebody came like walking up, is that DoorDash for insert name here? Yep, here you go. So that was good. It did occur to me, like, what if you're shopping and it's a place where you're gonna be a while, like a dealership or something, a car dealership where, you know, like, if you're purchasing a vehicle, it can take a couple of hours. What if you get food delivered as a customer to a place like that? Oh, that house is really cute. I want to do that. Anyway, what else? Let me check the DoorDash app and see if we've got any orders coming. Alright, got a Arby's $6 order. I forgot to screenshot it. Sorry about that. They were so busy. Oh my gosh. I was waiting for a very long time, and I got my, well, not mine, my customer's order before people were in there before me. It was madness. But let's get this to her so that we can hopefully get an $11 order, because I have a feeling I'm only gonna get one more before it's too late. Drop that one off. Oh, my sound's about to come on. I do try and pay attention to what way the door opens. Since I've had several deliveries to my house where it's blocking my screen door, or I end up having to, like, step further out into the space to get to my food, and that's never fun. So we got 2 deliveries offered to us. One was $4.50 to go 9 miles, and I declined that one. That's insane. That, again, is not worth the gas that it would take me to get there. Which I know what you're thinking. 9 miles doesn't seem like that much, but like, it was projecting that I was going to finish my delivery at about 12:18, which means that would be the only one that I had left. Then I got one for, I think, 12 something. I don't know. You guys saw it. I'll pop it up on the screen. It is 2 deliveries, but that will get me to my, like, mark of how much I needed to break $2.50 for the week, and so this will be my final one. It is 2 separate deliveries, but it is guaranteed at least that amount to get me to where I want to be. So let's go to Wingstop. To continue answering questions, what am I listening to? I listen to Audible, I listen to podcasts, sometimes I listen to YouTube videos as if they're podcasts, because I've got YouTube Premium or whatever it's called these days, where I can be playing a video with the screen not showing the video, which is nice. So currently, I've been listening to Ned's Declassified Podcast Survival Guide, I think it's called. Basically, the 3 main characters from Ned's Declassified are breaking down each of the episodes, kind of like Office Ladies breaking down their the Office show. But I'm all caught up on them, and they keep doing like look back episodes, whatever. They've both been having some stuff going on in their lives, so I haven't been getting as much new content from them, and several of the other podcasts that I listen to that I would normally have a backlog to, you know, fill the time. Nope, they're all either like done or on hiatus or, you know, whatever. So I was looking for a new one. YouTube kept suggesting this one to me. I watched some of the like clip shorts from it, and it seemed very funny, and it is very funny, and I like Ned's Declassified. I wasn't as much of a diehard fan of it as I was of The Office. Like, I don't think that I've rewatched it since becoming an adult. I don't even know what streaming service it would be on. Maybe I should. Anyway, it's pretty good. They're pretty funny. It is kind of weird hearing them as adults and everything, because they're adults, so they do adult things, but I mostly only knew them as children when I was a child as well, and so it's interesting hearing them have, you know, adult ideas and stuff, which shouldn't be like that surprising, because they're all about my age, you know, give or take a few years. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm listening to. We dropped off the first Wingstop order, but as we were pulling up, we got an additional one for a Subway that is apparently on the way. So let's go get some Subway. Peace. Alright, I thought we were done. So I delivered the Subway, and it turns out the second Wingstop order was just around the corner, which is great. And I thought that we would be done with it at that point. But sometimes if a new order comes in, you say, like, I want to dash until noon, and then it will keep getting you orders until noon. But then, so your last order could come in at 11:59, and you would still need to, your last order could come in at 11:59, so you might be done. Like, right now, I just finished my last run. It was 12:16. And so once you complete it, it goes through the, like, ending your dash like steps. But if a new order comes in before that process completes, hey, guess what, you've got another order, and you can choose to take it or not. But if you don't take it, then, you know, your acceptance rate takes a hit. And this one was $5 for a quick trip order that was gonna take me pretty close to where like I need to go anyway. It's an extra $5, which is not a lot for the distance actually, but fine, whatever. Alright, let me see where I need to be. So after this next one is done, I'll go over all the numbers for the day and we can chat about it. But there were a couple more questions. Number one, favorite thing about doing door dashing? I mean, there's a lot. I like getting to know the area. As you guys know, I recently bought a house in Green Bay, and so it's kind of helping me create my mind map of the area. Also seeing different restaurants that I wouldn't normally get. But one of the features in the app is it shows you where the cheapest gas is around you, which is fantastic. I love that. And I have used it a couple times. Now sometimes you can change the range. So I have my radius for the gas thing at 5 miles. Sometimes it's not worth it to go the 5 miles. But today, all of the ones near me, compared to the cheapest one, which was about like 3.5 miles away, all the ones near me were like 20 cents more per gallon. So yeah, I'm gonna go over there. But then their card reader was broke, so I had to go inside to pay and tell them like how much to put on it, and I wanted to make sure that it was less than what would fill me up. Whatever. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not, I guess. Least favorite thing about delivering DoorDash? I don't know. It's like, it really is a fun gig, and I enjoy driving. Sometimes it gets kind of stressful with some of the orders. If a store doesn't have an, like, I don't think it was this morning, it was yesterday. I was doing a delivery for Dunkin', and when I got there, like, the order wasn't done yet, and they just kept being really busy and not getting to my order, and then eventually they got to my order and had to, and the reason that it wasn't done when I got there was because they didn't have all of the stuff that they needed. Okay. So then I had to call the customer and be like, hey, they're out of this, what would you like to replace it with? Which would have been nice to know, 5 minutes ago, instead of just like sitting there forever. Anyway, oh, and then the other thing I do not like is when people order to-go drinks. Like, I mean, it's your money, do whatever you want. I'm going to do everything I can. And there hasn't been an actual issue. It just is stressful for me, because I drive differently. If I have a to-go drink, I can hold it in my hand, or like I'm drinking it, or, if I'm gonna have to take a sudden stop or a rough corner, then, I just, like, pick it up. But if it's in the other cup holder, or, there's a bunch of them, so it's in one of those drink caddies, I'm just so worried for your drinks. And, yeah. But yeah, so I guess that's the only part that really stresses me out. I don't like when people don't tip, or if there's a take-in order and then it says like, okay, you're getting at least this amount plus tips, and then the person doesn't tip, then that's really frustrating. But I don't take I don't take the offers unless I know up front that there's going to be a tip or not. Well, unless I'm okay with the guaranteed number, because sometimes that guaranteed number includes tips and sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, tip your drivers. Oh, there's another one that was really frustrating, where there just was no cell service at the person's house. So whenever I was trying to complete the delivery steps, that was a challenge. And like, one of the things that you're graded on is being on time or early, and I couldn't do that because yeah, it was not in my control. Alright, we're getting close to the house, so I need to go back to my directions. This house is not where I thought it was going to be, so I ended up going way far away. No, this one is probably going to be late. That is totally within my control. If this was you, sorry. Alright, let's wrap this video up. I do have a cat purring in my lap because he loves me, well, she loves me. Karma by Taylor Swift. Alright. Today made $81. This is all pre-gas and pre-everything. Made 13 deliveries. I had an active time, which if you don't remember from the last DoorDash video, active time is the time from when you accept a delivery to the time that that food is at their door. So it includes going to the restaurant, picking it up, and bringing it to them. For 3 hours and 17 minutes. Total dash time, which is total time that you're logged into the app, even if you're sitting around waiting for an order to come in, or driving from your last delivery to get to a hotspot so that, you know, more offers will come in, was 3 hours and 40 minutes. So there was only about 23 minutes where I was idle. And that was mostly driving to hotspots. Hotspots, if you can guess from the name, are where there's a lot of orders being placed. A reminder, so we're going to compare week 1 and week 2. Week 1, if you want some more details about it, you can watch the other DoorDash video, but the total for the week was $253. Total active time was $942. And total, 9 hours and 42 minutes. Total dash time was 14 hours and 8 minutes because I had a lot of idle time last week. This week I did better at avoiding idle time. Oh my gosh. Fortune, do you have something to say? In one of my previous videos, somebody commented thinking that she's in heat and that I should get her fixed. She is fixed. She's just a very snuggly cat. Okay, totals for this week, week 2, made $264 total. So that's about $11. I mean, there's some change in there, but about $11 more than last week. But total active time in the app was 10 hours and 47 minutes. So that's about an hour more of delivering than I did last week. Which means that I probably took a lot of low dollar offers, potentially out of boredom. But my active time in the app was down to 12 hours and 36 minutes, which means less than 2 hours of being idle compared to last week, where it was about 4.5 hours of doing nothing. So I do count that as an improvement. The hourly pay for when I'm logged into the app has gone up, but the hourly pay for when I'm active on an offer, I think, went down. I didn't look at the actual numbers for that. But thanks for dashing with me today. It was a lot of fun. I will, yeah, I'll see you in the next video.